Our basement used to look like this, straight out of the 90s with all the oak and beige. I recently shared how I renovated this space all by myself and everybody wanted to know how much I spent, so I'm breaking it down. And since I am a content creator, I realized my cost is going to be different than the average person, so I'm breaking it down at the end. First up were these DIY concrete countertops. I did the back bar and the main bar, and for all the forms and supplies, it was about $1,000. Then I decided to reuse all these cabinets and save money. I had all the supplies on hand except the black paint, which is about $50 a can. You want to make sure you use a cabinet specific paint, and these do cost a little bit more money, but it's worth it. Then I decided to use these antique mirror tiles, which were a splurge item for me out of pocket. They were $9 per tile, so it was $800 for the tile and another $200 for mortar, grout, and the spacers. This carpet was original down here, so I decided to take it out. I built my bar. I wish I could save all the receipts from this, but I'm estimating I spent about $200 in lumber. I did save money by reusing my old upper cabinets. These typically are $150 to $200 at the store, so I saved about $1,000 by reusing these. Then I decided to wrap the bar in this trim. I used MDF boards, which are going to be cheaper. As long as they're not near water, you can absolutely use MDF boards. And then here's a look at my DIY concrete countertops on the bar. Again, this is already included in that $1,000 from before. Next up was my most viral project I've ever posted, replacing these ceiling tiles. I originally wanted to rip down this drop ceiling and drywall everything to make it look better, but this is how we access all the wires and piping down here, so that really wasn't a great option. These ceiling tiles cost about $3,000 to replace. Next up is another big ticket item. I replaced all the carpet with LVP. This flooring is from Hewn Flooring and it's very durable, which is exactly what this basement needed. In total, it was about $3,000 for new flooring. Next up were these faux brick panels that I did around the basement. I only did these on the top half of the walls because they were expensive. They were about $38 per panel and I needed about 8 to go around the whole basement. And because I was being extra, I grouted all the individual bricks. So it was $320 for the panels and then about another $125 for all the grout. I also did all this black trim around the whole basement. Again, I used MDF boards, which is gonna save you money. This was hard for me to add up, but I'm estimating I spent about $500 to do trim all the way around the basement and the bar. Now, there are a lot of things it's hard to add in here, like the decor, the hardware, the rugs, the couch, everything like that. Now let me break down the cost for an average person compared to a content creator. The average person would have spent about $10,000 to renovate this basement themselves. But since I post things on the internet, I only spent about $3,000 renovating this basement. However, that does not include my 10 months of free labor. Just another example of how DIY can save money.